Mr. Gum is a series of stories about horrible old men having fight with a big dog by English children's writer Andy Stanton. It has become quickly beloved of the under-10s and their parents around the world, including Vietnam. Thanks to the strange humor and bizarre flights of fancy on the occasion of the European Literature Day in Vietnam, the kids have had a chance to meet Andy in person. It's gonna tell our VTV International Hoang Linh how the stories grew up of a last-minute Christmas present for his cousins.
The Mr. Gum series have been the bestsellers in the UK since they were launched in 2006. The first in the series instantly shot to fame when it won the Red House Children's Book Award in the same year. Since then, the gruesome Mr. Gum books have won numerous prizes and rave reviews book after book. Translation rights from Mr. Gum have sold in 27 languages across the world. In Vietnam, 7 books of the series have been translated into Vietnamese so far, and they are much loved by the kids here.
Hello Andy, welcome to On the Mic on VTV4.
Hi, thanks for having me.
I noticed that your story is weird, wacky and 1 in a million. Mr. Gum is truly a nasty old man, a complete horror to children, with shabby appearance and bad habits like he never brushes his teeth. I don't know why children all around the world like him.
I don't know, we have to ask the children. We have to go all around the world asking all the children why do they like Mr. Gum. I think they like him because children love really evil, stupid characters, and Mr. Gum's really stinky and he's a complete idiot, and I think kids just like laughing at silly people. Yeah.
Can you introduce some of the most outstanding characters to our audience?
Well, I like all my characters, they're all outstanding. I like Billy William III, he's a disgusting butcher. He's Mr. Gum's only friend, so he's like the sidekick to Mr. Gum. But then on the goodies side, we have Polly, who's my heroine, and she's a 9-year-old girl, and whenever Mr. Gum is up to his evil schemes, Polly is always trying to save him, and she's my favourite character because she's really brave and she's really loyal and honest. She's about this tall, and her full name goes like this. It goes Jammy, Grammy, Lammy, for Berlin, Stereo, EO, Leb, Siep, Neuromonica, Lestrapec, De Grespin, De Crespin, De Spespin, De Vespin, De Whoop, De Loot, De Brunkle, Merry Christmas, Lenoir. Yeah, that's why everyone calls her Polly. It just saves time.
How on earth did you come up with all those kind of characters?
Well, you know, I just have that sort of a mind. I mean, other people walk down the street and they think of ways to cure diseases, or they think of important inventions. I walk down the street and I just think about little cats with hats on, or just people exploding, or just mice running out of people's ears. I think of silly things all the time. I can't help it. I just have that sort of a brain.
Stanton's characters are superbly captured by David Tasman, who came from a commercial rather than traditional children's illustration background. The series has become accessible even to reluctant readers, thanks to their short length and plentiful illustrations.
What motivated you to invent all those hilarious and funny ideas of an extreme surreal world?
I like surrealism, you know, I like Monty Python and I like The Simpsons. I like all that extreme crazy comedy, and I just like to put it into my books. Also, if you do a whole series of funny books or any books, you have to keep things interesting, keep making up new characters. So every time I have to write another book, another character appears, and they're always crazy because that's the world they're in.
Can you demonstrate just a little bit of your stories to our audience?
I'll read you a little bit where Polly has to, she's running to find Jake the dog because she's trying to get him out of trouble because she knows Mr. Gum's going to do something bad. Okay, let's have a look. Here we go. Polly remembered the danger Jake was in, and off she set. She ran past a dustbin filled with rubbish, and then another one filled with rubbish, and then another one filled with rubbish, and then another one filled with princesses. There was something unusual about one of those dustbins. She had time to think, but she had to keep on running. She ran past big trees, tiny little trees, and tiny, tiny little trees, so small they were more like pebbles. In fact, they were pebbles. She ran past a cat's ears, which were lying on the pavement, and a cat's nose and whiskers, which were lying on the pavement, and a cat's body and tail and legs and eyes and claw. In fact, it was all just one cat lying on the pavement.
The books are so random that they could either be pure genius or just extremely boring.
Complete rubbish.
Yes. How did you avoid the latter?
That's a really good question, actually. When you write funny stuff, you have to always write emotions underneath it. If you don't have any respect for the characters and you don't think about what's at stake in the story, then it's just silly, 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 and it gets, like you say, really boring, tiresome rubbish. So to keep it on the genius side, or closer to the genius side, I really love my characters, and I always am thinking about putting that under the story. You have all the funny stuff up there, and you have emotion going underneath. So that's what I try to do.
So, who reads your books?
Oh, no one. Who reads my books? Kids from about 6, 7 to 11. And then when they turn into teenagers, they get too cool, they don't want to see it. But then the parents, yeah, they like them too. So parents like to read my books to their kids because the parents enjoy them as well.
Why do you choose Vietnam to introduce your books?
Well, Vietnam have published my books, and they are publishing book 7, I think, any day now, Mr. Gum and the Cherry Tree. That's Mr. Gum and the Cherry Tree, not Harry Potter, Mr. Gum. And they invited me out here for this great festival of literature and European literature, and I'd never been to Vietnam. It's a free trip. No, I wanted to come and talk about my books, meet some Vietnamese kids, and, you know, see how you guys do things out here.
Despite language barrier, Vietnamese kids still enjoy reading this bowl of wit and fun.
There were funny, very, very funny parts that I wanted to tell it out. In part 1, You're a Batman, Mr. Gum. Chapter 4, there's only one sentence. And in page 12, there's the end of the story. Very funny.
Bright, brilliant, hilarious, and flattering children's intelligence, Mr. Gum's creative charm his under 10 fans by alternating between readings, genre banter, and recurrent physical comedy. It was like watching a stand-up comedian as much as a top children's author.
I write all the stories and I get all the glories.
How do you think about the responses of the Vietnamese children to your books?
Well, so far I've only met a few, and they all just ran away from me, crying. So I don't know. They seem very happy. They're like kids anywhere, all over the world. They like to laugh at silly things, and they like it when a story can really make their imagination take off. So yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting lots more.
And all the paintings that the children illustrated, all the characters of Mr. Gum, how do you think about them?
All the kids here have been doing drawings and making up their own stories based on Mr. Gum. They're hilarious. They're just so funny. I actually saw them on my computer. I was sent the files before I came out to look at, and they were really good. But now that I've been in Hanoi for a couple of days, I understand the pictures a lot more. They're really, really funny. Like there's one where Mr. Gum is stealing the turtle from Sword Lake. Yeah, and I did see, I looked at that when I was at home, but I didn't know what it was. There's a turtle, who knows? But now I get it, it's really funny. And there's quite a few with like motorbikes in. And now I've been in Hanoi and I've seen 8 million motorbikes. It makes a lot of sense.
What message do you want the young readers to get after reading your books?
I just want them to remember that, like, I'm really handsome and fantastic. No, I don't want that at all, look at me. What message do I want? Just that life isn't always serious, and you can have a lot of fun if you let your imagination loose and play around with ideas.
What is your plan in the future?
Well, I should be writing more Mr. Gums. I haven't got a good idea for one at the moment, so when I get back to England, maybe I need to sit down and get to work quickly because my publishers are standing behind me like this, you know. So, yeah, there'll be more Mr. Gums.
Well, thank you very much for your time, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, nice to meet you.